Did you see that? Did you see that? Beauden Barrett is back in God mode, baby. Beauden Barrett, 100th test. Oh my god. This was God mode Beauden from the first minute to the 80th minute. First try of the game scored by Beauden. Last try of the game scored by Beauden. 2 intercept tries. Oh my god. That was so good. That I was like, I was clapping. That was so good. Beauden Barrett is back, okay? First off, this was probably the most clinical, most accurate performance from Beauden from a very, very long time. And his on-field kicking has been pretty accurate. Mostly, his handling was really good. His combination with TJ Piranara has been much, much, much better. And that God mode 2 intercept tries was like, couldn't be a better 100th test for anyone. And I'm really, really happy for this man. 100th test, finally got that, and lots of criticism left and right. God mode Beauden is back, man. That was just so impressive. And you know what's really impressive and what's really funny? Maybe Sir Fozzie watched some of my videos and took my stupid advice. So he actually put Richie Mwanga on the win. I said he should put Richie on the win as a joke. He actually put Richie Mwanga on the win and kept Beauden on the field for the full 80th minute. Sure enough, it's almost like Fozzie knew Beauden was going to score another try and kept him on the field. Beauden, on the last minute, 88th minute, last pretty much 89th minute of the game, Wales look like they're going to score a try or look like they're going to make a massive break out of from the New Zealand defense. And Beauden Barrett intercepts the ball, runs 50 meters into the corner for a try. Even the Welsh fans were clapping this. This was so good. Like, oh my god. It's like, and it was just like after they've announced the man of the match and they gave it to Beauden Barrett. And he just like, yeah, I'm not done. Intercept try. Thank you very much. Now I'm done. And you may clap now. You may leave for the car park. That was super impressive. And he also scored the first try of the game. Welcome back to Test Rugby. Gareth Anscombe. Welcome back to Test Rugby. So Welsh number 10. Anscombe has been out for like 2 years since 2019. He comes back. This is the first test match. And he only played apparently a few club rugby games before this. So first test match back against the All Blacks. Pretty much the first time he touched the ball. No, not the first time. Probably like 5 minutes. I think it was 7 minutes into the first. 5 minutes into the game. Just like maybe the first few times he touched the ball, he tries for a pass, gets intercepted by Beauden, goes in straight under the sticks, and we had that classic Beauden scoring the scoring try under the post with the smiley face. Like the grin on his face. Oh, it was so good. That was so good. It was just God mode Beauden. That was so entertaining to watch. I was super happy to watch that game. That was super good. And some other news coming out of this game. Alan Wynne-Jones broke the record of Richie McCaw. I was right. Richie McCaw's world record for most cap player, international player ever. But he suffered a seemingly shoulder injury again on that same shoulder he suffered before the Lions Test series. He came off the field like 15-20 minutes into the first half. Yeah, didn't look good. Especially when he came off the field, the Wales lineout just fell apart, basically. Not very good. And yeah, this was a pretty good performance from Wales in the first half, in fact. Very solid defense. Very tight, close game. The New Zealand defense was really good. So Wales only was able to just spin slightly behind at halftime due to a couple of penalty kicks and Beauden Barrett's try. So that was all the difference between halftime. All the stats were pretty much identical. And second half, the Welsh just fell apart. The reserves came on and just got thumped by the All Blacks in just every front. The All Blacks teams were just kicked up again in the second half. The All Blacks has been criticised for not being able to for kind of like drop down a gear in the second half, especially when the reserves came on. This game really kicked up a gear when the second half, when the reserves came on and just ran rampant over Wales. There were some tries that we saw tonight was just like insane, like absolute mind-boggling insane try. Sev Reece came on the field, right? He literally scored a try, touching the ball 3 times. Okay, he scored a try, right? He caught a crossfield kick that seemingly he had no business catching. And then he like fell to the ground, right? And he looks up, pops ball back up. Now you're thinking, okay, he's on the ground. He's not even able to, he's out of the action. Pops ball back up to Rico Ioane. Rico Ioane runs through, gets caught, turns around. Rico Ioane is already back on his feet. And he pops the ball back to Sev Reece. Sev Reece runs a couple steps, getting caught as well. Throws the ball outside to Ardie Savea. Ardie Savea runs down the sideline. And then he's getting like swept across, looks like he's about to get pushed out. He throws the ball back infield to Sev Reece. Sev Reece catches the ball, runs in for a try. Like insane. It was like watching like some kind of magic trick. Like it was just like insane, mind-blowingly good like play from the All Blacks with Sev Reece. Like you could not believe this guy touched the ball 3 times in like 5 seconds. Like that whole thing happened so quickly. It was just insane. So definitely watch some of these highlights. It's just like absolutely like mind-blowingly good. So overall, this game was a big win from the All Blacks. Wales did have a lot of players missing due to injuries and whatever. But overall, the second half, Wales really let themselves down. The first half was very highly contested. This was sold out in the Millennium Stadium in Wales. They packed the stadium from the floor to the ceiling, right? And then so the game started, it was like dry, and then suddenly like, and then apparently the weather reports was gonna be raining. So there's a roof. Apparently there's a roof, they can close it. And the commentator said, due to COVID reasons, they can't close the roof, despite the fact that they literally packed the stadium shoulder to shoulders from the floor to the ceiling. It's too dangerous to close the roof. So it did start raining a little bit in the second half, but really didn't affect the game at all. Not at least for the All Blacks. They really ran through the Welsh team. So this was also so this was absolute amazing game. Absolutely insane. Really wonderful to see that, you know, a packed out stadium of Welsh fans singing songs, just cheering, and the All Blacks coming out, and, you know, it was just with the haka and then following the national anthem of Wales. It was just absolutely insane. Beauden Barrett during the national anthem looked like he was crying. He literally looked like he was crying. Like he was so like emotional about his 100th test. And sure enough, he put on what a show. What a show he put on. So I'm so actually happy for this guy. He you know, I some of you guys who watched my video, I remember watching this guy playing for the Hurricanes, thinking, who the hell is this kid? He's never gonna get anywhere. Like, you know, just some nobody from like all the other nobodies in New Zealand. Turns out to be Beauden Barrett. And what a match. Overall, the New Zealand scored 7 tries to 1 for Wales. Wales did manage to get 1 try on the board for in the second half. Looked like they could potentially stage a comeback, putting like really good faces together. But then the defense from Wales just fell apart. So if we look at the stats, right? 348 run meters for Wales, 536 for New Zealand. Looks like New Zealand really beat Wales in that front. But at halftime, right? At halftime, Wales actually had 220 run meters to New Zealand's 218. So the Wales were ahead in run meters in halftime, and Wales really looked like they wanted to like put up against New Zealand in the running game. So the Wales were not afraid to run the ball out of their own half in the first half. And halftime, turnover score 11 points to 10. Tackles made Wales 117, 27 missed tackles. Really hurt them in the second half. Just to give you an idea, okay? At halftime, Wales had a better tackling percentage than New Zealand. Wales had 84 tackles made, so Wales had to do a lot of defense, only 7 missed tackles. And New Zealand had 57 tackles made, missed 7 tackles. So Wales were way ahead in terms of defense, and only if it wasn't for that Beauden Barrett try, Wales would have been like very close. Probably coming off in halftime. Very close at halftime. Would have been, the score was 16-18 halftime. Would have been much closer if it wasn't for Beauden Barrett's try. Also, Wales gave away a few just silly penalties in the kickable penalties in the in the first half as well, where it's just like really silly stuff. Like, I was just really silly stuff, like chatting to the referee and then getting penalized 10 extra meters. It's just silly stuff like that a little bit that really kind of hurt Wales in the first half. And then also the lineouts was a big struggle for Wales, especially when Alan Wynne-Jones came off. It seemed like the Wales lineout, like everybody, like all the fans, the Welsh fans knew the lineout was going to be an issue because their hooker is kind of like a new guy. And then the first lineout was just like perfect. Alan Wynne-Jones jumped up, plopped the ball off the air, done. And like there was literally a round of applause from the fans. And then as soon as Alan Wynne-Jones got injured, the lineout just fell apart. Wales missed a number of opportunities, especially in the first half, where they could have scored tries. 5-meter lineouts attacking, and they just threw the ball away in the lineouts. It was really like disappointing as well. So that was a massive thing that hurt Wales in the first half, like leading to the score much worse. And also at halftime, the penalty count was 8 penalties to 7, with New Zealand having a yellow card. Nipo Laulala almost got a red card for shoulder charging one of the Welsh players in the head, and the referee deemed it that there was enough mitigation because the Welsh players was like running head into the tackle, the Welsh number 6, and then the shot who was, they deemed that like mitigation for dropping, but Nipo Laulala didn't really use his hand, use his like try to wrap his arm around, so he was just pretty much a stretch. It should have been a red, I think, but yeah, the referee kind of went a bit easy on the All Blacks there. Only handed out a yellow. Despite having a yellow card, Wales were not able to capitalize on that. It was like they didn't really get any advantage out of that one extra person off the field. So, yeah, you can say that it's a bad call, but you're still not able to capitalize at all during that period. But yeah, anyway, let's go from the start. This game was just one of the most wonderful things about rugby, watching a full crowd coming in, and the national anthem was sung. Like I said, Beauden Barrett, 100th test. He looked emotional. He looked like he was in tears. Like he looked like he had he looked like he hasn't been sleeping very well. Maybe he's under a lot of pressure from the 100th test. Like I've mentioned in some of my previews that this could be Beauden's last chance on number 10 jersey, because maybe Fozzie gave him the 10 jersey because of his 100th test. He has been pretty rusty recently. And you really need to step up to secure that 10 jersey. And sure enough, he made a massive claim for the jersey this time. And he did so good that I don't know if because it's due to the result of his performance this week. I don't know what's happening. But Richie Moronga didn't come on for the 10 spot in the second half. So very impressive from Beauden. Like I said, Alan Wynne-Jones, I hope he's okay. Breaking the record from Richie McCaw. 149th test, but he looked like he suffered a pretty big shoulder injury. It didn't even look like a big, crazy messy tackle. Just like normal tackle, shoulder to hip on Geordie Barrett, bang, and he's just like that pop on his shoulder. He took down on his knees, and he came off the field. Yeah, Alan Wynne-Jones, probably the beating half of the Welsh rugby with him off the field. It's really the big struggle for them. This was a sold-out crowd. There was a national anthem was sung. The Welsh anthem went off. Everybody was so emotional. Alan Wynne-Jones was just busting his lungs out. And then response by the haka. Again, the crowd was just going absolutely crazy. This was 11th week away for the All Blacks. And also they've been traveling from USA to Wales. So everybody's kind of wondering a little bit whether or not that fatigue's going to start kicking for New Zealand. And this is the first time New Zealand's been back to Wales since 2018. So, massive turnout for this game. It's absolutely huge. So this game started, like I mentioned, quite a bit of a back and forward. Wales were actually able to hold off from was do quite well to diffuse a little bit early pressure from the All Blacks. And the Wales actually so eventually Wales got a line out about 40 meters out. This was the first line out the Wales have, so the whole crowd was holding their breath to see if the line out's going to go okay. So line out comes in nice and clean. Alan Windu plucked it off the air. Everybody starts clapping. Ball comes out, goes to Anscombe. Anscombe gets the ball, looks up, sees two forwards in front of him, like running, basically like already ran past him. I don't think he's supposed to pass the ball to the forwards. He's supposed to throw a deeper pass to one of his to his inside center, like who was deeper down. But he maybe made a judgment call. He tried to throw a flat pass to one of his forwards, which did look like a forward pass too. Anyway, by the way, Beauden Barrett, the God mode turned on, saw this coming, runs up, intercepts the ball. The whole place went absolutely like this huge gasp in the stadium. Right, it was like. Like the whole stadium was gasped at the exact same time. You felt like like literally sounded like all the air in the stadium just instantly got sucked up as Beauden runs through. Everybody was losing their minds, goes in for the try with a big smile on his face, that big grin. And everybody, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that was absolutely amazing. There was huge round of applause even from the Welsh fans when this went in. And it was just beautiful to see. 7-0 for the All Blacks. 2 minutes later, Wales fought back right from the kickoff. Gets a penalty right in front of New Zealand goalpost. Wales counters the kick. Anscombe looked a bit nervous, to be honest. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Need a bit of coffee. Losing hair everywhere. This is too much hair. But anyway... So Anscombe, first time back from international rugby, looked like it was a little bit shaky, but he gets this one. It's right in front, So he gets this one in. 3 points to 7. Wales comes back. There was some really good world-class kicking from Wales. Just very good kicking, just pinning the All Blacks back in their own half for a bit. Eventually, on the 9th minute, the Wales looked like they were going to do a counter-attack from the inside their own. So there was a bit of kicking again. The ball ended up inside the Wales 22. Instead of like just kicking it back, Wales decided to run, something that the All Blacks does. So this was like this got like a huge gasp again out of the crowds. Everybody was like, oh, nobody was expecting Wales to run out of their own half. And sure enough, it paid off. It got them all the way to about the halfway point. And then there was one final pass to the winger. Beauden Barrett goes in for the intercept. He misses this one, and he almost got a yellow card for this because the TMO calls in, and then he was like, he was not in no position to catch this, and the referee goes, yep, there was sweeping defense, so this is, we're just gonna call a penalty, not a yellow card. So very close. Beauden Barrett could have got a yellow card for deliberate knock on here, and it was kind of lucky. And yeah, anyway, so a few minutes, about 8 minutes later, on the 17th minute, the All Blacks starts to piggybacking a few Wales penalty, especially the All Blacks scrum. Looks like they have much better and more solid scrum than the Welsh team. Not sure if it's because, not sure what's happening, but the All Blacks scrum just seems to be that little bit edgier in the first half, and and caused a bit of I would say short on penalties against the Welsh for it. So the All Blacks pick back a few penalties from that. They ended up inside the Welsh half. So they started to so they started to run at the Wales, and Wales gets putting up a fair bit of pressure. So what I've noticed is that despite the fact that Wales defense was really good, they're not missing tackles, but the New Zealand were able to get the ball out so quickly. They're just constantly getting over the advantage, just getting 2 meters, 3 meters, 5 meters every time he ran the ball. So just getting closer and closer to the Welsh try line. And eventually, sure enough, the pressure piled, and Wales get penalized again for not rolling away on the breakdown. And this was right in front. So New Zealand, taking the respect for the Welsh team, took the 3 and got a massive boo out of the crowd because everybody thought maybe New Zealand should have gone for the 7. You know, plenty of tries to come, boys. No need to get too excited. So Jordie Barrett takes the opportunity to slot to 3. New Zealand 10 punts to 3. 2 minutes later, Alan Wynne-Jones wins down 19th minute. Shoulder injury, just pretty normal tackle. Takes a hit and must have just hit it on that, you know, sweet spot where his shoulder just popped. Yeah, he didn't look happy coming off. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully it's just like a pop, not like massive dislocation. Yeah, so I'm surprised that he's not wearing like shoulder pads or something, because I had a dislocated shoulder playing rugby. I had to wear like a shoulder pads to, like, it doesn't really stop the dislocation, but it just cushions that blow to prevent that kind of like sweet spot hitting that jars your shoulder. Just having a bit of pads really stops that from getting like, it doesn't like stop you from fully dislocated, but it stops it from like, it just cushions the blow, and it kind of like reduces the jarring. So it's less likely for you. So Alan Wynne-Jones wasn't wearing any like shoulder pads or anything. So just the normal tackle here, popped it. So yeah, he was out, didn't look happy. And that was pretty critical for Wales, because when Alan Wynne-Jones came off, the line out just went out of the window, basically. On the 23rd minute, Josh Adams, this was a weird moment, because there was a high ball from Wales. Josh Adams ran up to jump off the ball. He was high, and Jordie Barrett came in as well. So they were both in the air, but Josh Adams was higher. So he kind of like knocked Beauden Barrett off to the ground. And then the game played on. The referee didn't say anything. And the TMO called the referee, and he was like, I want you to have a look at this. And it sounded like the TMO was saying that Jordie Barrett was not in the position to catch the ball and took out Josh Adams in the air, because Josh Adams was like high above, and they kind of like took him out in the air a little bit. But Jordie Barrett did go for the ball. I swear, he was just not like high enough. Sounded like that's what TMO was saying. But the referee, the French referee, looked at it and said, nah, it looks like Josh Adams was not in the position to catch the ball, because the ball was like, he pretty much jumped in like he almost like he overran the ball. So the ball was basically like behind him. So he jumped up and the ball was like behind him. He overran it. And then he just like stuck his hand out like this and like launched his knee into Beauden. And the referee deemed that like a dangerous play from Josh Adams and got penalized. So it was really weird, because the TMO was literally saying like Jordie Barrett was the one at fault, but the referee just went, nah, I'm seeing otherwise. So it was a little bit weird. A minute later, the All Blacks has an attacking line out following this penalty. There was TJ Perenara takes a run. They got really close. They just like, again, just quick balls. TJ Perenara gets the ball up. He sees a gap. He runs. He gets tackled 5 meters short. So all the forwards piles in. And then there's no halfback. So Bodie Ritali gets in, gets the ball out, looks up and sees Nipo Lala next to him. Pops with the Lala, big boy. All he had to do was like 2 meters. If he caught the ball, it would have gone in. Lala gets the ball. It's almost like he was surprised that he got the ball, and he's surprised to see the try line right in front of him. He juggles the ball, right? Knocks it on just before the try line, essentially. So no try there. But there was an offside penalty, so All Blacks take the 3. 13 points to 13. 24 minutes in. Let me just kick this up a little bit. This is getting too long. So 27th minute, there was a big All Black scrum, tight head penalty, turning over the Welsh ball there, which was really, really impressive. So they kicked the ball out for a 22-meter line out, and then there was a lot of, again, quick and fast balls. And looked like All Blacks got really close from this, but Wales held on 5 meters short, right? So that was pretty close. On the 33rd minute, the All Blacks just once again party on pressure, quick balls. They pushed from the 40 all the way into the Welsh like 22, and there was just really kicked up the pace a little bit. So Adi Savia got really close. Adi Savia sees a bit of a space, pick and go, draws like 3 defenders. He had like 3 people on him. Still managed to free his hand, pops the ball out to what's his name? To TJ Perenara, crashes down for the try. TJ looks so pumped, screaming, spikes the ball to the ground. Like, he was super happy. Beauden Barrett didn't convert this one. 3 points to 18 with about 5 minutes left in the first half. So with the last 5 minutes, Wales started to make some really good runs. There was a penalty, and Wales decides to go for instead of taking the points, they're taking a 5-minute line out, and they miss the throw. And then the throw gets overthrown. David Havili comes in to catch the ball. It looked like he knocked on. Referee didn't call it, but yeah, they got out of that one for the knock on. Havili's handling has been pretty poor this game, to be really honest. Not a good game for Havili this game. On the 38th minute, there was a weird, this is where the yellow card happened. There was basically Blackadder was tackling someone and then tackling the number 6, Welsh number 6. As the number 6 is kind of like diving down, Nipo Lalala comes in with the shoulder, hits number 6 in the head. Should have been a red card, I think. But referee deemed that, the number 6 was diving down. That's the minute getting factor, only given a yellow. Massive boost from the Welsh crowd. So with about a minute left in the half, Welsh really want to score a try. They built a lot of pressure. They got a 10-meter line out from that penalty, overthrown again. So another missed opportunity, but Wales still got the ball back from the return kick. So they piled on some pressure, eventually got a penalty right in front. Wales says, all right, we'll take 3 and go to halftime. So halftime score, 6 points to 18. So Wales really just missed out a little bit of a opportunity there. Could have put a bit more points there on the board. Yeah, overall halftime stats was pretty close, I've mentioned before. And this was just the beginning of the end for the Welsh team. Second half started, the game just went truly. By the way, before I forget, Blackadder is very, very good. He should be starting at number 6 in a permanent fixture for the All Blacks. His physicality is good. He's really good at the breakdown, really aggressive, extremely fit, extremely good at linking up with his players in supporting attacks. And he's just like good defense, just really good. I am very impressed how good Blackadder is. I think he should be starting permanently at number 6 jersey. I was blown away by his performance today, to be really frank with you. So second half started. So the game started off with a bit of a stalemate. The All Blacks having a bit of an issue recovering their own high balls and a bit of a knock-ons here and there. But 4 minutes in, Will Jordan finally gets the ball from one of the high balls, makes a nice break, gets himself inside the Welsh half, gets tackled 22 minutes out. Beauden Barrett, this is probably the only bad play from Beauden. He did instead of building, Beauden Barrett decided to do a high ball crossfield, and he kind of just went a little bit too far into the Wales 22, and which Wales caught a mark. If this was a tiny bit shorter, this would have been a perfect kick for Beauden as well. So good decision, a little bit in accuracy. If the ball hadn't been in the 22, would have been literally like a meter short. A few minutes later, on the 46th minute, there was another penalty on the breakdown. 40 meters out from the side. Beauden Barrett looked a bit shaky in the first half and missed a couple of kicks. He looked visibly stressed for not missing those kicks. Second half comes in, looks much calmer. Maybe had a bit of water at halftime, had a bit of a chat with his coaches. Slots this one 40 minutes out, 3 points for the All Blacks. All Blacks 21 points to 6, 46 minutes in. And then after that kick, Prislin comes in for Wales, for Anscombe in the second half. The veteran for Wales, the guy who led Wales in the 2011 Rugby World Cup, comes in for Anscombe at number 10, and he is 34 years of age. So massive round of applause for him coming on. On the 50th minute, Wales pushing for a try. All Blacks managed to hold on for a turnover, but Wales gets the return kick, goes again. They're pushing close again. No advantage. There was a bit of offloading not going well. So there was so the All Blacks were penalized for offside. So Wales kind of just went, okay, we'll take the 3 from here after a failed attempt of scoring a try from the All Blacks. So despite the pretty good effort from the first half. At this point, some of the Welsh players visibly look a bit tired, a bit drained. Sure enough, the defense starts falling apart. Riku Ioane starts to gets the ball and just literally carve through the Welsh defense. Hit something that didn't happen in the first half, just ran through like 3 players and got tackled inside the Welsh half. Literally, if he had one person to offload the ball to, would have been a try there. A minute later, Will Jordan shows that he's also a good winger, just like Riku Ioane. He gets the ball from a return kick from Wales, and he just ran the ball, slips through a massive gap in defense, beats like 2 defenders. The fullback comes up to cover him, who happens to be the Wales number 9. Will Jordan did a little chip kick over him, just absolutely destroyed him in the sprint to the ball, gets there, try time, easy as that. Just electrifyingly good Will Jordan. He's to the moon, rocket to the moon, this guy. Rocket to the moon, one of the best All Blacks winger potentially in his future. Like, he's so young, so good already, right? And on the 59th minute, about 5 minutes later, Wales get penalised again for not rolling away. So All Blacks gets a 5 metre... All Blacks gets penalised for not rolling away. Wales takes the opportunity to kick the ball out. This was a massive kick from Priestland as well. Wales gets a 5 metre attacking line out. And at this point, it looks like Brodie Retallick may have hurt himself. I hope Brodie Retallick comes off. Looks like he hurt his shoulder as well. So hopefully he's okay. So Wales gets the line out. Finally this time, no error. They get the line out. Caught for their own team. Sets up a maul. The maul is a bit messy. It was all over the place. But still got the penalty advantage for one of the All Blacks entering from the side. So ball comes out. Quick ball. One quick crash ball. Second ball to Priestland. Priestland gets the ball. Grubber kicks behind. And the Welsh number 12. Let me get his name. I think it's Williams. Wales number 12. Yeah, Williams gets that under the post. Try time. First and only try Wales able to put in for this game. But that was a beautiful, beautiful setup from Priestland. The veteran showing his skills. A minute later from the kickoff, right away, Wales gets penalised for offside from their own return kick. So the All Blacks kicks off. Wales gets the ball thrown to their fullbacks, kicks the ball out, and then the referee is calling, stop, don't chase. Because the fullback has to, run everybody on side first. But Welsh players didn't listen and gets penalised for offside. So that was just silly stuff. So this was kickable. But the All Blacks goes, nah, we're going to go for 5 metre line out. The line out comes in. All Blacks sets for a more, gets a penalty advantage. But they didn't actually go anywhere. So All Black goes, all right, we'll go for another 5 metre line out. They kick the ball out for another 5 metre line out. This time the ball goes far to Ethan Blackadder. Like, he's really good at line outs too. He's almost a second rower. Catches the ball one hand, extremely smooth, comes down, pops the ball up to number 7, Papali'i, runs around the back of the ruck, gets tackled, bit short, reaches out, try. This was a beautiful line out set piece play by the All Blacks. This was just beautiful to see. I love this move. It looked quite good. And yeah, Blackadder, man, he's so impressive, actually. I am very, very impressed by how good he is. Just looks so smooth. He looked like, a 50 test cap veteran. He can jump in the lineouts. He can do everything. And he's just like, he's just like, what? He's young, like so young. I know his dad used to play for the All Blacks. He definitely got that good genes from his dad to be here. Like, he's absolutely very, very impressive. And a huge future ahead of him. A couple minutes later, there was some insane All Blacks play. Seven Reese gets on the field. Like I said, this was absolutely magic. Like watching a magic show. Like Penn and Teller Fumi, right? So, like, this was a crossfield kick from Beauden Barrett. This was a crossfield. Reese, what is it? It's almost like not a crossfield kick. It was not like a crossfield pass kick. It was just like a kicking crossfield to one of the Welsh players. But Several Reese gets it, catches the ball, falls over on the ground, right? He rolls around, looks up, Riku Ioane is there, pops the ball up, Riku Ioane gets the ball, runs down the sideline, and he gets caught like literally like a second later. He looks back, Several Reese is back out on his feet, pops the ball back to Several Reese. Seven Reese gets the ball, runs a few meters, gets caught, looks out again. There's Adi Savia running down the sideline, throws the ball like basketball throw down Savia on the sideline. Savia runs down the sideline a bit more. As he's getting tackled, he throws it back in. Seven Reese is there in support, catches the ball, and runs in for a try. This was so good. It was like watching a magic show. Even the commentator was confused. He was like, I have no idea how many times Seven Reese touched the ball there. He touched it 3 times, I think. It was like beautiful to watch. And Seven Reese goes in, just like amazing performance. 5 minutes later, All Blacks gets another try on the ball. There was a lot of pressure party on the Welsh team. The defense falling apart. All Blacks were getting I think this was a scrum, maybe a scrum. But anyway, All Blacks were getting a nice little set piece move, and one of the All Blacks runners, who was it? This was Tupu Va'ai gets the ball. He runs in. Instead of like taking the ball in, he did a turnaround and throws the unders pass to the Beauden Barrett. Beauden Barrett runs around. The Welsh kind of saw this coming, rushed up to try to cut out Beauden Barrett from throw a pass. Beauden Barrett sees this, just like so calm, so smooth, fakes the pass, fakes the cutout. So the Welsh player went, oh, like this, right? And then he just went, whoop, throws a pass, throws a cutout anyway over his head after after the fake out. This was just beautiful, like so smooth. Just baits out the fake, block, intercept, throws the ball over his head anyway, like he's a child, like the Welsh player's a child. And then Jordie Barrett gets the ball, passes on to, I think there was maybe Havili or someone, and then throws another pass to Anton Leonard-Brown on the wing, goes in for the try. I think it was Seven Reese, and then one more person out on the wing, Anton Leonard-Brown goes in for the try. Just absolutely beautiful to watch. Jordie Barrett slots this one. This score stands 16 points to 49. So it's starting to kick to lose control. It's just starting to really getting up there. But anyway, so 73rd minute, Richie Mo'unga gets on the field. He's at the wing. He's on for Will Jordan at wing, and Riku Ioane is at center. So yeah, maybe Ian Foster watched my videos and took my advice. Finally, on the 78th minute, it's looking like the game was over. Wales is really trying to run themselves into a final try. So they're actually on a really good attack pattern, trying to run the ball out of their own half. Actually managed to do quite well, getting some space out on the wing, getting in just inside the New Zealand half. It looked like there was a bit of an overlap with Beauden marking 2 players. The Wales players tried to throw a bit of a pass. Wasn't very accurate, a bit of a lazy pass. Beauden just went, plucks out in the air, runs 50 meters down the line. The whole place was clapping for Beauden, and it was just amazing performance from Beauden Barrett. Finished the game the way he started with an intercept try. God mode Beauden is back, baby! And that was the final try. Jordie Barrett hits the post with this one. Final score, 60 points to 54. Woo! I look forward for the next All Blacks game. This was extremely entertaining. I think Beauden, after being criticized by me, I guess, for his last opportunity in the number 10 jersey, he's probably made a good claim to retake that jersey as a permanent fixture following this performance. This was by far the best performance of Beauden Barrett for a few years now. Maybe not a few years, but at least in the last 2 years, this was by far the best performance by Beauden Barrett. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, yada, yada, yada. I'll see you guys next week for the news. Thanks.